Welcome. Welcome to the Real Man Group podcast. Welcome to the fastest growing podcast on YouTube. Yeah, proud of that. So how you healing? Viewers, how are you healing? I know that's my tagline. Instead of me asking y'all how y'all feeling, my question is how you healing? So thank you for tuning in to this wonderful podcast. And I'm your host, Mr. Gray. I'm so happy to be here. So it was one thing that I want to bring to everybody's attention is that here, I have no problem calling people out, calling us out on our shit. Because we all know we have some shit with us, right? Just like these women have shit with them. But sometimes it's not all about what it is that they do. Like sometimes we got to dig into like what we done and what we doing now. So a lot of fellas is probably not going to fuck with me after this episode. But if you're not fucking with me after this episode, then you shouldn't be subscribed to this channel anyway. Because we got to be able to take constructive criticism. We got to be able to listen, because sometimes we live in denial. We live in a space where we don't realize that we got shit with us. So this topic is called Fellas, Please Stop. Please stop. There's a few things that I want to bring to your attention. And some of these things I have done in the past. So I'm speaking from experience, and I'm also speaking from an observation point. So there's a lot of things that we do that is some fuck shit. And it doesn't make sense. Like, the first thing I want to talk about is stop getting all these gold teeth instead of going to the fucking dentist. You spend all that money on trying to cover up what your teeth look like, instead of going to the dentist and getting your shit fixed. Get your teeth fixed. These are the new J's, the Pradas, the Versace's. Like, these are your fucking shoes. But instead of spending money on getting gold teeth, go get your fucking teeth fixed. And there's so many of us that's hustling backwards. Yes, hustling backwards. See, one thing about this show, one thing about me, as I mentioned earlier, that I'm going to call us out on our shit. And please understand and accept it. Because we got to be able to take constructive criticism. Constructive criticism. So if you driving around in the foreign and you dripped in designer and your teeth looking like shit, you hustling backwards. You are hustling backwards. And I understand that a lot of us didn't have role models or the big homie that could connect to us and share some of these things to get us to understand that there's some things about us that we just need to change. You either evolve or you are going to die. Evolve or you are going to die. And here in the Real Men Group, we're going to evolve. We all going to evolve together. Because as I said before, a lot of these things I done. A lot of these things I fell victim to. And sometimes you become a product of your environment and you don't realize that your environment is holding you back. Holding you back. If you're from the hood, that don't mean you got to think like the hood. That don't mean you have to move like you from the hood. And it's one thing about being from the hood. The shit that you learn, the life lessons, like all that shit is transferable. The most successful black entrepreneurs came from the hood. because they know how to move in a room full of vultures, and they also know how to move, period. So you got to be able to evolve or you are going to die. People are going to outgrow you. That woman that you are with is going to look back at you and say, you didn't change at all. How you expect to grow with someone if your ass is remaining the same? There's nothing like being with someone that have outgrown you. No one wants to deal with something the same way. The same way you get tired of your furniture, the car you driving. You get tired of the same shit all the time. Welcome to the Real Man Group podcast. So you got to be able to change the way you think, the way you view the world, the way that you view yourself, and do the right thing. So, newsflash, PSA, the strip club don't give tax returns. All that money that you throwing, for what? All that money that you are throwing in the strip club, what is that doing for your future? And if you have children and you are able to go to the strip club and drop $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, some of y'all got some big pockets out there. And I understand that your money is long, whatever you doing to get it. But we got to start doing the right thing with our money, because it's one thing that's for certain: time is not going to wait for you. You think you got all the time in the world. You think that fast money is going to last forever. There's a lot of people out there scamming, right? Listen, power to y'all. Y'all looking real good out there. I see y'all driving the foreigns, dripped in designer, bust down Rollies, APs. But how many of y'all got lawyer money? How many of y'all scammers have lawyer money? Because eventually, you know that fast money gonna slow up. It's gonna slow up. And them boys is watching. And when they come, they gonna come. So instead of blowing all that money in the strip club and buying all this designer, invest in something. Get some property. Listen, I love that half price sweater new. Shout out to Jay-Z. I love paying half price for shit. I love a discount. But at the same time, fellas, we got to start moving differently. So fellas, please stop blowing that money and not putting nothing to the side for a rainy day. And especially if you have children, that $2,000-$3,000 can go towards a college fund. You think that stripper cares what you got going on? You think she really care that you have bad credit, child support, kids that is getting ready to go to college? She don't give a fuck about that. Shout out to the strippers though. It's not a stab at y'all. Listen, if these fellas is dumb enough to blow their checks, to blow their money and not secure their future, power to them. But fellas, you gotta please stop. Please stop all this shit. I remember growing up, man, the drug dealers had all the money, all the cars, they had all the bitches. They was like the stars of the hood. They was idolized because of all the money and the power that they had in the hood, right? They was who the hood idolized. We idolized the drug dealers growing up. But there's one thing about the drug dealers back then, though, I got to give credit to them, was that they always chopped it up with the youngins and said, don't be like me. You walk into the store, you buying your groceries, and the drug dealers are there. No, mama, I got this. They would pay for the groceries, and they would tell you to go to school. That's the difference between those drug dealers and the drug dealers today. But at the same time, all that fast money, all that money that they was getting back in the days, where are they now? Washed up. They started getting high on their own supplies. And it's all because they didn't do the right thing with their money. So no to the scammers. If you don't start doing what you need to do with this bread today, tomorrow's going to be real dark. It's going to be real rainy. Once them boys come knocking, you're going to be looking for bail money. So fellas, please stop. Please stop with the shenanigans. Start doing the right thing with your money. Financial literacy. There's books. And if you're not into reading books, there's audio books. You got to be able to learn how to secure a future. Because what you're doing today may not be around for you tomorrow. So start doing the right thing. And there's no reason why you should have a $2,000 car note living in your mother's basement. You shouldn't have a bust down Cuban. You shouldn't have a bust down AP or Rollie if you are living in your mother's basement. And if you're driving a foreign, you should not have no roommates. If you are driving a foreign, you should not have no roommates. You should at least have a place for you to live. For yourself, by yourself. At least when you have your company come over, they can walk around naked and don't got to worry about bumping into your fucking roommate while she's going to the bathroom. Fellas, please stop. Please stop. You can even get you a studio apartment. A studio apartment. Kitchen, bathroom, living room, bedroom, all in the same fucking place. But a lease is yours. A lease is yours. So if you want to drive a foreign, you should not have a fucking roommate and you should not be living with your mother. Y'all gonna hate me for this, but I don't give a fuck. Because it's one thing, like I said numerous times on this show, I have no problem calling us out on our bullshit. See, there's a difference. There's a huge difference between people with money and people who look like money. The fact of the matter is, someone who has money, they don't need to look like money. If you want to see who got money, look in the crowd. Look around. Look around. Look down. The ones with money probably have a small piece of jewelry. They have a nice watch. A really nice watch that's worth some bands. But they dress normal. They dressed in shit without logos all over it. Or they dressed in designer that you don't even know is designer. That's when you know somebody got some real money. You got these fellas out there looking like paychecks. You look like a good paycheck, but you got nothing in your fucking bank account. We gotta stop hustling backwards. So fellas, please stop. Please stop. And thank you for tuning into the Real Man Group podcast. But please fucking stop with the shenanigans. There's no reason why we should be moving the way that we do. Because, listen, someone who has money don't need to look like money. And it be the ones that don't have money that want to portray like they have a lot of money. And then they complain when the chicks just chase them because of money. How you complaining when you are flashing all this money and you are trying to be this person that you are not on Instagram? Everything that you post is designer, is money, is jewelry, is all these things. And then when you meet a chick that's about that business, that's about that paper, and drain you for everything you fucking got, then you can't complain about that shit. So, fellas, please stop. Fellas, please stop. If you lead in with the pockets, it's going to end with the pockets. Because if you get her because you got all this money today, you need to be able to maintain that money. You need to be able to do the right thing with the money, because once that money dry up, that pussy dry up. There's no secret that a lot of these women is out for that paper. They want that dude with the long bag. But if you portraying that you have all this money and you really don't, recipe for disaster. So fellas, please stop. Please stop. And stop smashing these chicks raw. Stop smashing these chicks raw when you don't see a future with them. If you can't see yourself having a baby with this person, then you need to stop fucking them raw. It doesn't matter if you went out and bought that plan B. It's only a plan B if she decides to take it. If she decides to take that plan B, then it's a plan B. But that shit can go right down the toilet, and now you got a baby that you didn't want because you just wanted to fill her insides. Fellas, please stop. Please stop. And stop getting into these relationships because her pussy is good. Stop committing to these women because they pussy and their head is good. Because you get in a relationship with this woman and then now you're starting to complain because she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, she's not attentive, she's not supportive, she doesn't know how to talk to you. All because that head and that pussy was on fire. You done made a commitment to something versus someone. So stop getting in relationships because the pussy in the head is good, because you are making a commitment to something, not someone. Fellas, please stop. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you like what I'm saying, if you feel my content, if you feel what I'm saying, please like the video. Welcome to the Real Men group. Yes, real men. And it's one thing that I want to bring to the table is that a real man is able to admit when he's wrong and his mistakes. So all the things that I mentioned, fellas, it's not a shot at y'all. It's a way for us to become better versions of ourselves. So just do the right thing. Do the right thing. Spike Lee has said that years ago. Do the right thing. And whatever the right thing means, do it. And stop moving in with these chicks to save $650. And then you turn around and you complain when she asks you to pay a light bill. You moving in to save a few $100s. And then you complaining when she asks you to pick up a bill. Fellas, please stop. And if we get into these relationships, right? We get in these relationships knowing that we are still fucking around. And we moving in with these chicks. If you a heavy sleeper, that phone need to be in the car and those car keys need to be in the fucking freezer. Because there's nothing worse than a woman detective. Yo, your phone need to be in the car and your keys need to be in the freezer if you are a heavy sleeper, because women are the greatest fucking detectives on this planet. Fellas, please stop. And if you sliding in these girls' DMs and you in a relationship, you know women screenshot game is on point. There's no secrets. What are you going to say? Oh, my page was hacked. Good luck with that. See, there's some things that we just got to move. We got to move different. We got to be able to see that there's room for growth. So we got to stop with the fucking shenanigans. Do right with your bread. Make the right decisions. Stop smashing raw if you're not ready for kids. And take care of your responsibilities. If your money ain't right, you shouldn't be outside. You should be home, working on yourself, getting your credit right. And if you have a roommate, you need to be working on getting your own spot. The days of, my moms live with me, I don't live with my moms. Or he needed a place to stay, and nah, fuck that. Get your own shit. Get your own shit. Why you riding mine? Yeah. So, you got to become the person that you are looking to attract. If you're looking for somebody with their shit together, then your shit got to be together. So, fellas, please stop. Stop with the shenanigans. We got to be better. We got to be better. We got to do better. That's the only way that we're going to be able to change ourselves. And hopefully the world's going to change behind us. But you know they say, man, how do you expect to change the world if you're not willing to change yourself? Thank you for tuning in to the Real Man Group. I'm Mr. Gray. Until the next one. Peace.